Hey guys, it's Elijah with Fence OKC. We're up here in Edmond, Oklahoma this morning, and we are putting in a 4-foot vinyl black chain link. So I'm going to walk you through some of the stuff that we've already done, and we'll walk you through the whole project as we get it finished. So here, we've got a nice property here. We're going to have a 4-foot walk gate here, a 10-foot double drive here. Here's kind of an interesting thing that we come across a lot here in the more hilly areas of Oklahoma City is where we have a retaining wall that we'll have to go over. This particular customer has a dog and he doesn't want his dog to be able to get out. So what we're going to do is we're going to run our 4-foot to the edge of the retaining wall, and then we'll run a 6-foot section out a few feet. Here it's a little bit longer than typical just because of the trees and the roots here, but we're going to try and kind of hide this post from the sight line from the street. But there'll be a 6-foot section of chain link, then step back down to 4 foot. As you can see, what we've got right now, we've got all of our posts set. They've set over the weekend, so they're nice and sturdy. As we go along, we'll put all of our tension bands on, all of our brace bands, rail ends. We'll set our top rail, get everything ready to go, and then we'll set the or we'll stretch the chain link. I'll take you around back and take a look at what we've got going on over there. So here we've got the back side of the fence, and it's in a little bit more wooded area. It's got some elevation changes. One thing that we like to do, make sure of, is that as we change elevations, as you can see that we stop and start the fence. So we've got terminal posts going at the top and the bottom of this little drop here. That way your fence isn't stretched over an elevation change too much. It looks a lot sharper and it's a better fence. You really can't do much of anything else on this. Right now we've got a guy setting the bottom wire, and this is an important step because we want it to be nice and tight, so we'll have something to attach the chain link to on the bottom of the fence. After we get that done, we've got guys down here and they're setting the height of the post. So basically what we'll do is we'll put the top rail on, we'll have our bottom wire set, and then we will be able to start stretching the fence. We're gonna have a gate back here in the corner. Sometimes the rocky soil here in Oklahoma doesn't allow us to get a full 2 feet in the ground like we'd like. So we're left here on this post with about 8 inches or so. We're gonna have to trim off the top in order to get our top rail even. But obviously that's really important because we want the chain link to be able to attach to the top rail and the bottom wire and be even.
So that's what you're doing.
Like that. Guys, we're back out here in Edmond this morning and kind of wanted to walk through the black chain link that we've got set up. It's almost done. We've got a few more things to tie off and the gates to hang on the other side, but I'll walk you around the project. So we've got the fabric wrapped. We still got to come back and trim a couple of the posts. We like to leave them a little bit high so we have some room to play with, and we'll come back in with the reciprocating saw and trim them down to height and put the cap on. But as you can see, we've got our ties on. We like to put these about every 18 inches or so on the top. At the bottom, it's got hog rings, as you can see. And we tie it off to the bottom wire. At the bottom, we've got a pretty nice looking fence here. As you can see, this is some of the other stuff that we put on. That's just pretty standard stuff, just tied to the post there. On a 4-foot, we do one every 12 inches to tie off. Just our vinyl coated loop caps here. we walk around, you can see some of the elevation changes, and it's important when you're laying out a chain link fence to kind of look at those and make sure that your posts are going to be, you know, at the right height. So we always leave a little bit of room, so if we have to trim them, then we can trim them down, but you can't really lift the post out of the concrete. So we always leave a little bit of extra height on it, so when we set the fabric, because sometimes the fabric, you know, we want the fabric to be right at the top of the top rail, so we can tie our ties to it. We don't really want it to be above it or below it, and sometimes the ground changes in elevation, so it's real important to make sure your posts are at the right height, so your top rail will be at the right height. This is our elevation change here. We've got a little runoff right here. So right here we've stopped the fence on this side over here. I started it on this side, and that's important just so you know you don't have this weird awkward bend in your chain link. And then same thing at the bottom of the run. It stops and starts again and continues on. Really, you need to do that anytime you're going to go down a elevation change, so your fabric will stay the same height the entire run of the fence. We've got the guys up there, and they're finishing off the section where the fence goes over the retaining wall. We've got our double drive gate up there and a walk gate, but this is the way the dog can't jump over the you know, over the fence from the retaining wall, so he's got a little bit of extra tall fence right there. This project turned out really nice, and should be done here in about an hour and a half or so.